I don't think it's possible for a film that is inspired by Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol to not reference Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol directly at some point in the film. That's certainly the case with The Christmas Spirit, but I have to say, from start to finish, I loved this film. This is the 2013 Hallmark film directed by Jack Angelo. I love Hallmark Christmas films. I love films where there is a spirit interacting with people on Earth, and this ticks all of the boxes. But there's something about this that's a little bit more unique than any Dickens-inspired Christmas film that I can think of, that I have seen, and that's because we have two spirits. So I'm going to try and not give away too much information, but I kind of have to explain a little bit of the narrative in the beginning to fully kind of explain what this is about. I will say it takes up a little bit of time to get going, but once it gets going, it's amazing. So our two protagonists are Charlotte and Daniel. Charlotte's played by Nicollette Sheridan, Daniel, Bart Johnson. And Charlotte is a writer for the local paper. She's very fond of the local community. Daniel is a businessman who has been sent to this little sleepy town to encourage people to sell their business. This large corporation is hoping to buy out the strip of properties on Main Street to to improve the area. And you can't see this, but I'm using air quotes when I say improve. And then disaster happens, and there is an incident. I won't say what, but an incident happens, and both Daniel, the businessman, and Charlotte, the kind-hearted person, become spirits. They aren't dead. That's the interesting thing. It's not as depressing as it sounds. They're not dead. Hopefully that will whet your appetite to find out how this could possibly happen. But they both realise that they've become spirits, and they have to try and work together as spirits to help people, I'll say back on Earth. They are still on Earth, but to help those who are 100% within their bodies. And together they have an interesting journey as they help people, primarily Charlotte's niece and nephew, and then various other people in the town. And it's lovely. I love the fact that we have two spirits who adopt the very traditional boy meets girl, will they, won't they approach that you find in basically any Hallmark film. And that's just amazing. As I said, I love Hallmark films. I love films inspired by A Christmas Carol. This has taken both of those films, both of those elements, and mashed them together in a way that is so beautiful and so magical and so heartwarming, with quite a few very positive messages and morals in it, and I love it. Now, oddly, it's only got 5.9 out of 10 on IMDb across just shy of 1,000 reviews. Now, that's a respectable rating for IMDb. That isn't a bad rating. But I genuinely love this. I'd give this 7 or 8 out of 10, because I think they've taken several elements that are done to the hilt and twisted it and made it a little bit more unique and a little bit more fresh. And I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Olympia Dukakis as Gwen, I thought was brilliant. Loved her performance. Really liked the character a lot. In fact, everybody in this I just thoroughly enjoyed. I cannot fault it. I'm sure if I, sat down and watched it with a fine-tooth comb and intentionally looked for flaws, I would find some, because nothing is perfect. Always room for improvement. But I really, really loved it from start to finish. Everything about it was fantastic. I can't fault it. Although the dog, where did the dog come from? There was a dog in it at one point. It's not a spoiler, not a big plot point at all. But there was a dog, and I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention at one point earlier in the film. But I don't know the significance of this dog or why this dog was there. But aside from that fact, I thought it was amazing. And the development was brilliant. The journey was fantastic. The conclusion for me, I won't say what happened, but I'm satisfied. I'm very satisfied with how it ended. I love it. The Christmas Spirit I'm not certain, but may be one of my top 10 Hallmark Christmas films. I absolutely adore it.